Hey guys, so back with another video. I am back for the simulation of this football GM league, the AFAA, and I wanted to make a video earlier, but some things happened. Friends needed me, so that happened, and yeah, so we're back. Nothing's changed. Nothing at all has changed in this league. I have decided not to go over uh, games. We're just going to hop into a game. We'll watch the game go by, and yeah, we'll have. It's just there's no stats to go off of, so I can't really say anything about any team yet. I have to know the teams. But here are the overalls. We have a bunch of overalls out of 46 and a bunch of potentials out of 40. So 47 potentials. We got some young age kids, some O linemen that can be pretty okay. But at the old age, there's a lot of 40s-year-olds out here. So AJ Butler, he was 92 undrafted. That's nice. But yeah, we got the next draft. Uh, this man, Eric Brown, looks to be the best player out of this year's draft. Next year's draft, the best player is Roberts, Dave Roberts. Nice defensive lineman. And then in 2014, the best is George Ellick, undrafted right now, but from Notre Dame as well. So those are the top guys to look at. Lewis Nelson, Mallon, and Ware all in the 80s. You got Roberts, Witt, and Benton all in the 80s for potential. And then you got Ellick, Early, Gordon, Nelson, Wilson, Green, and Davis all in the 80s for potential. So just like that, we are going to be going into the first game of the season as the Tampa Turtles are playing the Cincinnati Riots in the first game of the season. Here we go. Live game action, and we are kicked off. Henry Williams returns it for 33 yards. At their own 27, Cincinnati has the ball. Tyjon King drops back to pass. Throws the ball, and it's incomplete. Vance Ferguson was the intended target. 2nd and 10, hands the ball off to John Sudenberg and loses a yard. So Cincinnati starting off not great to start their first drive. Tyjon King drops back to throw the pass, and he is sacked. Jet Darling with the sack, and Cincinnati will punt the ball back to Tampa. So here comes A.J. Bristow with a 30-yard return. Nice. 49-yard line, and there's a false start on one of the offensive linemen, Jordan Ellison. At the 46, Jalen Alston drops back to throw. Gets it to Jared Thorpe for 7 yards. 2nd and 8 at the 47 for Tampa. Hands it off to Jared Brown, and he runs it for 14 yards. Wow. What a run. Alston drops back to pass, and it's intercepted, trying to throw to Jared Thorpe again. 2nd and 10 at the opponent's 33-yard line. Alston is running all over them. Oh no, the quarterback. Come on, 3rd and 1. Alston runs it again and gets the first. So Jalen Alston looked like the all-around player. Alston runs for another 14, so he's got 28 yards already. At the 5, he gets it to Jared Brown. Brown gets it. Touchdown, Tampa Turtles. Mitch Thomas was injured on the play, though. Curtis Ajayi makes it. So yeah, that's just what the offenses look like so far. First quarter, 11:50 left to go. Ajayi kicks it off. Cincinnati has the ball. Tyjon King, he's going to drop back to pass. And he fumbled the ball. Who has the ball? It is recovered by Tampa, and they have the ball again. The Turtles are just beating up them already. Drops back to pass. Got it to Jordan Eliason for 17 yards. Down at the 2. Alston drops back to pass. Throws it to Jordan Ellison. Touchdown, Tampa. And Ajayi makes the extra point. 14-0. We're not even that far out of the first quarter yet, and Tampa's already taken a commanding lead. Connor Kelly is injured. Cincinnati has the ball. Tyjon King drops back to pass. Incomplete to Henry Williams. So Cincinnati really not having... And, there's a pass interference on Nicholas Cooper. It's a first down for Cincinnati. Never mind. Tyjon King drops back to pass. Incomplete to Justin Olenberg. And it's not it. Okay, yeah, it's really not going well for Cincinnati. And then there's a neutral zone infraction on Dan Adams, so it's 5 yards. Cincinnati, Tyjon King, back to pass, throws to Henry Williams for 15, and a first down for Cincinnati. Another 1st and 10. Tyjon King drops back to pass. Incomplete. Deshaun Suterberg. Cincinnati, 2nd and 10 at the opponent's 48. Hands it off to Justin Olenberg, and he gets 0. So I'm actually going to go a little faster just because I don't want the video to be for that long. Hands it off to Soderberg, gets 4, and they have to punt it back. Drops back to pass, 22 yards to his wide receiver. Incomplete pass. Incomplete, so it's 3rd and 10 now. Hands it off to A.J. Bristow and gets 10 yards and an illegal use of hands on the defense. Pass complete for 13. Incomplete to Jordan Eliason. Gets to Rich Weber, 3rd and 3. Bristow got 1st and 3 for the quarterback. Jalen Alston throws to Bristow again for another first down. Gets to Jared Brown for another touchdown. Tampa, the Turtles are beating them up. King throws to Justin. He is 1 for 6 on the game. 2 for 7 for 30 yards. And he lost the ball, and oh my. Tampa has the ball back. Alston, incomplete. 2nd down. It does to Thorpe, and he got nothing. Runs for 3. Does nothing, so they're going to punt it away. Cincinnati has not done well. 21-0 first quarter. Suterberg back to pass. Suterberg again. So he's getting a little rhythm here. King comes back to pass, throws an incomplete pass. Hands it off to Soderberg. Gets 6. 3rd and 4, and it's incomplete. So they're going to kick a field goal. And Mason Hollins with the field goal, and it is good. Cincinnati is up. Tate Pickens, incomplete pass. Alston runs for 5. Back to pass. Throws to Jordan Eliason. Another first down. Incomplete to Eliason. Back to pass. Offsetting penalties. Hands it off to Jared Brown and gets 6. 3rd and 4. Back to pass. Incomplete. So they're going to have to punt the ball. Oh, no, they go for it. And they don't get it. So Cincinnati has the ball back. Henry Williams, 13 yards. Suterberg gets 2. 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Henry Williams is incomplete. Jake Melody is injured. Back to pass and is sacked. So they're going to have to punt the ball, get a touchback, and player injured. Bristow, incomplete. Hands it off to Bristow. Got 7. Hands it off to Jared Brown. Gets nothing. So the neutral zone infraction on Cincinnati gives them another extra set of downs. Back to pass, gets it to Bristow. Holding, so it's 2nd and 13. Back to pass, gets it to Thorpe. 3rd and 4, back to pass, and gets sacked by Tevin Marshall. So Sam Gerber is apparently injured. Their own 41, throws to Henry Williams for 15 yards and a first. Hands it off to Williams and gets 14. So they're starting to get some rhythm down at the 17. Back to pass, Vance Ferguson for 6. Down at the 11, incomplete to Sean Soderberg. 3rd and 4 to Williams, who only gets 2, so they'll kick another field goal. And they kick an onside kick and get it. Wow. King drops back to pass, gets nothing. Hands it off to Soderberg. Absolutely nothing. Loses yards. Garland in neutral zone infraction. Ball at their own 8. Hands it off to Bristow, who gets 3. They're just going to run this clock. Oh, no, it's incomplete. Back to pass. Ridge Weber for 18. Back to pass. Jordan Eliason, nothing. Back to pass. It's intercepted. And Mason Hollins kicks a field goal to end the half. 21-9. King not doing great. Jalen Alston not doing great either, but it's okay. Jared Brown incomplete. 4th down. Harrison punts it away. Cincinnati has the ball. Tyjon King runs it for the first time today. Soderberg gets 11 down at the opponent's 36. Soderberg with 4 more. Opponents at the opponent's 32, now at the 14, hands it off. Soderberg lost 4. Hands it off to Henry Williams, and he gets 8 holding, so it will be an automatic first down. On the defense, probably. Henry Williams, -1. 3rd and 11, drops back to pass, illegal use of hands, so 3rd and 21. Incomplete. They'll kick the field goal, and Mason Hollins missed it. Jared Brown rushes for 5 yards. Alston drops back. Jordan Eliason again for another 10 yards. Then to Jared Brown for 11 yards. Hands it off to Bristow for 3. Jared Thorpe, it's incomplete. Alston back to pass. Those to Jordan Eliason, incomplete, so they'll punt the ball. Henry Williams gets the carry for -2 yards. DeJon Soderberg, 0 yards. And on 3rd and 12, hands it off, and Ferguson doesn't make enough. So we will go pretty much. We'll drop back to pass. And yeah, there you go. Pass. Now we're in the 4th quarter. Brown for 5. Alston drops back. Jordan Eliason for 6. Tate Pickens gets 14. Back to pass. Tristan Thompson sacks him. He gets to Jordan Eliason for -1. Hands it off to Jordan Brown and gets -3. So they got to punt it back. Tyjon King incomplete to Henry Williams. To Soderberg for 2. And then on 3rd and 8, drops back to pass and gets to Henry Williams for 13. Tyrone Taylor was injured on the play. Henry Williams for 8. Vance Ferguson gets -2, so 3rd and 4, drops back to pass. Henry Williams does not make it. Gets it to Soderberg, and a big stop on the defensive side. Stop on 4th and 1. 3rd and 14, hands it off to Brown, who gets 2, so punt it back. Timeout. Andrew Fisher's injured. Hands it off to Soderberg, and Soderberg gets 13. James Price is injured. Drops back to pass, gets sacked by Hayden Wilkers. Hands it off, gets 2. 3rd and 14, hands the ball off. It's fumbled, and that is the 3rd turnover of the day. Holding on the defense, incomplete. Pass, back to pass, and gets sacked for a -13 yard. And gives to Jordan Eliason for 3, so they're going to punt it right back. And that will pretty much be the game. Soderberg for 30 yards. Is this where their quarterback lights up the defense? Gets it to Henry Williams. Incomplete to Soderberg. Back to pass and gets sacked. 3rd and 23. Incomplete. 4th and 23. Pass is incomplete. Tampa drops back to pass. Throws an incomplete pass. Second, hands off for 3 yards. Timeout for Cincinnati. 3rd and 7. Back to pass those at Jordan Eliason, and that's the game. Rushes for 9, and a field goal is made. Kicks it off. Touchback. Delay of game penalty. Neutral zone infraction. Drops back to pass and is sacked by Dylan Garland. That is the game, folks. So, at the end of the game, Jalen Alston, 23 for 42, 54.8% completion percentage, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Was sacked 4 times for 31 yards and has a QBR rating of 76.4. Tyjon King, 16 completions, 32 attempts, 50% completion, 190 yards, getting sacked 5 times for 42 yards and a 68.5 QBR rating. Jalen Alston, also the leading rusher with 7 rushes for 48 yards. A.J. Bristow, 8 rushes for 40 yards. And Jared Brown, 8 rushes for 34 yards and a touchdown. And then Keith Bugs with 1 rush for -1 yards. DeJon Soderberg with 15 carries, 50 yards, and 2 fumbles. Longest was 13 yards. Henry Williams with 6 attempts for 32 yards. Justin Olenberg, 2 rushes for 12 yards. Tyjon King, a rush for 7 yards and a fumble. And Vance Ferguson, 2 rushes for 4 yards. Receiving, Eliason with 13 targets, 10 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Jaron Brown, 4 receptions, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Brewston, 3 receptions for 34 yards. Ridge Weber, 2 receptions for 25 yards. Jared Thorpe, 3 receptions for 15 yards. And Tate Pickens, 1 reception for 14 yards. Keith Bugs was thrown to 3 times, but never caught a ball. DeJon Soderberg, 4 receptions for 67 yards. Henry Williams, 7 receptions for 63 yards. Vance Ferguson, 3 receptions for 33 yards. Justin Olenberg, 2 receptions for 27 yards. Darren Hollins and Tyrone Taylor, both were targeted but never caught the ball. Curtis Ajayi had a 23-yarder, 3 for 3 from extra points. He was perfect on the day. Mason Hollins was 3 for 4. Missed, I think, a 46-yarder. 41 yards was his longest, but never made an extra point because they never scored a touchdown. Gideon Harrison, 7 punts, 3 inside the 20-yard line, 2 for touchback, and his longest was 60. Garrett Pointer, 5 punts, 1 for inside the 20 and 2 touchbacks. A.J. Bristow, 1 kick return for 19 yards and 3 punt returns for 40. Henry Williams, 1 kick return for 33 yards and 5 punt returns for 65 yards. Nick Olson with 4 TFLs and a forced fumble. Corey Harris with 2 TFLs and a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Also with Chandler Mitchell with getting a fumble recovery. Javaris Russo with a TFL. We had a pass deflected by Nicholas Cooper. Hayden Wilkes with 2 sacks. Fumble recovery by Dan Adams. Jared Darling and Dylan Garland, both with sacks as well as Ralston Mitchell. And 1 more forced fumble by Michael Neal. On the other side, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pass deflections on the day with a pick from Zane Pruitt, sack from Andrew Fisher and Tevin Marshall, a TFL from Andrew Fisher as well, Mike Moore with a TFL, Shea Jackson with a TFL, a sack by Brandon Jordan. We have another TFL from Jake Medley, and a sack from Tristan Thomas. Thank you guys for watching. That was it. 24-9. Tampa Turtles win it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I will see you guys next time for what's going to be the next game. Next game will be the Cleveland Curses versus the Vancouver Whales. See you guys.